Hi, comic book fans, and welcome to another SuddenlyComics.com video. It is a Monday night. It is the price variance. I am here with everybody's favorite Canadian, Alan, and we are looking at the hottest Silver Age comics of the week, curated from Alan from Heritage Sales. And we are going to kick straight off and jump in with our first comic, which is Space Ghost.
Yeah, I left a few good ones on your channel too,
Yes,
so
thank
don't
you.
worry.
You didn't nick all the interesting ones. We have at least one interesting
Yeah,
one on my channel. Here we go.
I thought this was a strong sale. So
It's
this is an 8.5 for 8.40.
yeah, and it's a great looking comic, isn't it? I do like this cover.
Yeah,
It,
and
it-
this is the first appearance of Space Ghost as well.
yeah, Protector of the Universe. Dan Spiegel doing the artwork.
Hmm.
First appearance of Space Ghost in comics. It was the only issue.
Yeah, yeah. The only issue, he does make, I believe there is a second appearance, but I'm not sure
And look, it's
about
got one
that.
of these fantastic back cover posters.
Yeah, this is a really hard book to get in high grade.
Yeah, very nice.
So, and Space Ghost is one of those beloved characters.
Yeah.
They brought him back recently, actually. I forgot which company
He's
brought
a
him
bit of a
back, but
cult. He's a bit of a cult thing, isn't he? Some people
yes,
really like him. Right. So
yeah.
Space Ghost, 8.5, $840.
So basically $100 a point.
Yeah. Again, it's similar to some of the ones we saw on your channel, Alan. It's not hitting the it's that's
COVID
record
prices.
there in January last year at $1,300.
Oh wow.
It's down from that significantly, but if you look at its graph, even just drawing a line there, this is performing pretty decently.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure if that's an outlier sale or if that's just where it was like it looks like the trajectory is more in line with this sale
Yeah, I
than with
agree.
that
I agree. I
other
think
one.
that's an
That
outlier.
other one was
It
kind
was
of like
it was
straight
a
up a bit.
that outlier was a fixed price purchase off eBay.
Yeah, I think somebody just, you know, pulled the trigger a little bit too hastily.
Yeah.
It happens. Don't overpay for your comics, people. Look at the trends. They are your friend.
Well, to be fair to this guy who bought this one, that was the trend before he bought it. So he was only up a bit on the previous sale, and if you look at the graph, it was pretty exponential. So
Yeah, it could have been, but nothing goes exponential. So, um,
except Trump's tariffs against China.
oh yes, well that's a different story. Um, so yeah, but what's the census on this one?
340.
340. So fairly low census.
It's a low census, yeah.
Um, but yeah, and I bet you if you look at the distribution, it's mostly lower
They'll all be
grades.
high grade, yeah. Let's have a look.
No, it'd be all lower grades, I would say.
Oh,
It's really hard to get this book in high grade, is my point.
oh yes. So yeah, you're right. There's only 198, 296. There's 194.
Yeah. See
Yeah.
how it's like
Yeah,
the distribution's
the
like
majority of
6.0
these
and
are the majority of these are 7.5 and lower. Yeah.
yeah. It's just a hard book to get in high grade. There's just enough black on it that it causes problems.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, our second book. I do like this cover. This is Strange Tales 97.
97 and it's for 800 and $960. Do you know what the key significance out without looking at the label?
Now then, I do recognize this cover.
Okay.
Why do I recognize? I do like it. It's
Okay, so guess what it would be? Like, these strange tales. They
right.
kind of came out before some other books came out.
Well,
So,
Strange Tales 110 is Doctor Strange. Uh,
yeah.
So we're 10 issues before that. Um, oh, it's not first what's his name? No, it's not. It's not. It's not the first Base Pot Pete, is it?
No, 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 nothing like that. No. So a lot of these strange tales and
Oh, is it? Oh,
Journey into
I meant to be a
Mystery.
precursor to something.
Yeah, it's they have a prototype.
Right.
Now in this, there's a story about a mermaid.
Right.
Okay, and it basically, I think it's the mermaid's adopted by two people, Uncle Ben and Aunt May.
Well, that's got to be a precursor to Superman. This is post.
Spider-Man, yes, yes, Spider-Man, yeah.
Oh, it's meant to be okay. All right,
So
because
they're basically the same characters, except they have like adopted mermaid. It's the weirdest thing.
oh, here it goes. Story predates Amazing Fantasy 15 with two characters by Steve Ditko named Aunt May and Uncle Ben.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, well, they do rework some of these things. Very good. I did not know that. I have seen this cover before and I do like it. Uh, it's Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko, cover and art. Did both of them do the cover? That's why I can't determine whether it's because if you look at the some of these faces, they look Kirby-ish, but not entirely.
Where's the hats?
Well, exactly, Kirby. It's probably
It
Ditko
looks
would
a little
say,
bit.
"I am not having any hats."
Yeah. It doesn't look Kirby that way. Like I really feel like you need the hats, or it's
Yeah,
not Kirby.
and yeah, it's definitely a mix of the two, and it does say
Yeah.
Kirby and Ditka. I don't know how they do it when there's two of them doing a cover,
Yeah, I don't know.
unless
Like,
one's doing the inking, one's doing the penciling. I don't know. One's doing
yeah,
the
something like
penciling,
that.
and then one's doing the inking,
Mm,
and then you get a sort of meld of the two together, don't you? Is there really nobody with a hat?
yeah. I mean, it has certain Kirby-esque things with all the little people,
Yes,
but not quite. It's weird. But yeah, I thought this was kind of a cool key that a lot of people might not catch. You know.
I think this could be. If you were to, if I was to, if you forced to, I would say this is pencils by Ditko, inking
Hmm.
by Kirby.
Okay.
Which is why he got no hats. Because if Kirby had done the pencils, we would have had hats.
Yeah. But it's a cool, definitely a cool cover,
It is a
and it's a cool one of these prototypes. I like the prototypes personally. I actually have this book because I do collect the prototypes.
right. So this went for 960 for an 8.0. Is yours
Yeah,
slabbed,
so
Alan?
120 a point.
Is yours slabbed?
No, it's raw.
Right. Let's have a look. Hmm. It's heading down, Alan.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, this one sale kind of killed it.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't
So
sell
this
that
was a
frequently.
bit of a
It
steal,
doesn't sell
probably, I
that
think.
frequently, Alan. This is only the fourth sale since 2003. But I have to tell
Oh,
you,
well.
I mean, it's sold for less than it sold for in 2012.
Oh, wow. So this was a complete steal, I think.
Yeah. Some
Um,
somebody's got a
Again,
bar.
this is one that if you don't know, you wouldn't pick it up. You'd think it's like a cool book, but nothing.
I know, but it's slabbed and it tells you on the cover. So I mean, if you're
Yeah, but sometimes in the auctions they don't say. They don't say, "Oh, this is the," you just see a book. Okay, I'll pass. I'll wait for the next, one that I recognize, right?
yeah,
And people miss on keys all the time, just like the Rocky and Friends that was on my list. I think people, unless you know the key, sometimes you just walk, you just pass it by.
yeah, yeah. Well, looks like somebody got a bargain here.
Yeah, definitely. And there's only like, look at the census on it.
There's only 328. Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
rare book too.
yeah. It is a rare book. Very nice.
And it's worth getting graded. I mean, if it's that valuable at this price,
Yeah, and
$100 a
I think
point
it's interesting because of the Kirby Ditko joint cover art.
combination. Yeah.
Right. Fantastic Four Annual number one.
We're jumping big price on this one. This
Yeah,
one is big,
yeah,
big price jump.
we're going to jump a number in the census as well. Um, so here we go. The first annual. And this one has got Jack Kirby and Dick Ayers cover and art.
Okay.
Stanley's story, second Marvel Group's 25 cents logo. Oh, here, that's second, only
Oh,
second.
because it's the extra, they're extra thick, the
Yeah.
annuals.
Origin of the Submariner, 15 pin-ups, and the first appearance of Lady Droma and Krang.
Yeah. So this is a key book, especially for people that are collecting Doctor Doom, right?
Doctor Doom. Oh, no, he's down.
Yep, because he's also in it too.
He's in the gallery.
Yeah. And then you get the origin. It also has the origin of the Fantastic Four and it has, well, it's a big Submariner key too.
Yeah. Yes.
So I don't know, lots
Origin
going
of
for
the
this book.
Submariner. I'm not sure it's got the origin of the Fantastic
I
Four.
don't think it has, it says the origin of Fantastic Four as well.
Is it?
It
Oh,
says
it
it on
does
the
says it
cover.
down here. Yeah. It does says it down here. Yeah.
Hmm.
Right. Okay. So, $4,000 for a 9.4.
Yeah. I think that's a strong sale, but I have no idea.
Yeah, well,
I don't know this
it's
book that
lower
well.
than the last two sales.
Okay. What
Uh,
was the big sale there? And
that
when
was
was it?
the big sale, 6,300 in 2023. So post-COVID, that's not a COVID
Post-COVID.
sale.
Not a COVID sale, yeah.
And since then, the price has come down.
That's very odd. But actually, if you ignore that COVID bump, and this is
No,
kind
that's
of
not
maybe
a COVID bump.
returning.
That's post-COVID.
Yeah, no, 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 no. But go back to the point before,
Yeah,
like right around there.
pre-COVID. Yeah,
Yeah, that's pre-COVID. It's kind of going back to its pre-COVID prices.
except that these sales aren't COVID.
Well, my point is like, what we always saw is like after COVID, you get the price kind of correcting, then correcting again. It wasn't like it just jumped off a cliff. It would kind of slowly fall down the cliff. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like, you have it drop like 100% the next day. It drops, in stages. So that bump kind of goes a little bit further with the COVID peaks. Do you know what I mean?
Not really. These are not COVID prices.
Well, that's my point. It takes a little while for the price to go down. So it peaked in COVID, then slightly went down, then slightly went down, then slightly went down.
Oh, right.
It
So
just doesn't
you're
sell
saying
enough
if
to
there was
see
a
that
COVID
full kind
sale,
of
it would have been
transition.
up here.
What?
What you're saying, if there was a COVID sale, it would have been higher
Oh,
than that.
so both of those sales were not COVID?
Neither of them are COVID, no.
Oh, okay. Well, ignore what I just said. Um, I'm so wrong. I thought one of them was a COVID
No,
sale, and
neither
then
of
the
them are
other
COVID.
was,
No.
oh, okay. Well,
Well, November 2022 is right at the end of COVID, isn't it?
that's kind of in that COVID peak, but barely.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be kind of coming down by that point.
Yeah. Now, I went to the Edinburgh Fringe in 2022. COVID was just about over. Um, so,
Yeah, no, I feel like the COVID peak was really up till about September,
yeah.
October era.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Okay.
Okay,
Well,
so
anyway,
this one didn't perform
I
well at
think
all.
I think it's about the right price. I think, fair market value, $4,000. Yeah. And if you look
Yeah.
historically, I mean,
Well, actually, historically, there's like that way, like, I mean, that's
yeah, that's
readjusted.
inflated. That's inflated.
Yeah.
In fact, that's
But
$1,000 as well.
yeah.
So basically, this is the same price as it was in 22 year in 2002. So it's the same
Wow.
price it was 20 odd years ago.
That's not good. Okay, so what's the census on this? I imagine it's,
This will be quite high, I think. Yeah,
yeah,
well, relative to some of the other ones we looked at today, 1,442.
yeah. Yeah, it's not a hard book to get, but oh well. I would have thought these high grade ones would have performed a little bit better.
Yeah, should have done really. It's a great book. These annuals,
It seemed like a good price. I was like, oh, 4,000, that seems like a lot, but I guess not. See, that's the difference between Marvel and DC. This is not really much of a key. It's sure it's the origin of Submariner, but really, you know. Okay,
it's the
so
first
yeah,
Fantastic Four annual.
yeah, that's true. I guess that's something. I don't know. Okay,
Right, moving on. Oh, here we go. Never seen.
this is a key.
What's this one, Alan? I've never seen this one before.
So yeah, Avengers #1.
Okay.
First appearance of the Avengers.
Yeah.
And that's really actually the only key about it. I mean, it's the first team up. Um, but it is a cool cover. I like the framing of it, where you
Yeah,
can
I
have
think
Loki
it is.
basically.
It is well framed. Uh,
mm,
Loki. We can see.
Loki is the frame.
Um, again,
And so that shows you who the original Avengers were. You got Iron Man, Hulk, Thor, and the Wasp and Ant-Man.
yeah. I wonder
No,
which of these characters do you think has appeared in the most Avengers comics?
most Avengers comics.
Yeah. So because there's been a lot of Avengers comics since this comic, which of those five characters, the original Avengers, do you think has appeared in the most Avengers comics?
Maybe Iron Man? Because
It's
Hulk
not going to be
leaves the
It's not going to be
Avengers.
Ant-Man or Wasp, is it?
Yeah, but and Hulk left the Avengers like I think in the third or second one. He leaves pretty early on.
I know, but he comes back again, doesn't he?
Yeah, but they all,
Yeah, but is what about modern Iron Man's not in the Avengers at the moment, is he?
no,
Yeah, I think you're right. If you asked me to bet, I'd probably say Iron Man as well.
of these characters.
Yeah, out of the original set. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Somebody in the
Seven five
somebody
for nine
watching this,
thousand.
somebody up watching this will know. If you do,
Yeah, I'd love to hear who it was. But I'm just guessing Iron Man because he seems to be like the staple. He's like the leader of that.
yeah, I would go with Iron Man as well. Right. Alan's pointing his finger at us. Uh,
No, somebody's trying to call.
$9,000 for a 7.5.
Okay.
And it's a good price. Oh no, it's not. No, this is a really low price. Right. So this one has not been plotted yet. Uh, in on April the 8th, somebody paid $15,000 for one of these,
Wow.
and this one just sold for 7.5. So half price.
Was it 7.5 hours? I thought it was nine.
Sorry?
I thought it was 9,000.
Nine, oh, sorry, nine. Okay, sorry, it's not quite half price. So 9,000. Oh, yeah, yeah, 9,000.
Wow, that's crazy.
So it's back down here. So that one there, there's a
Oh,
9,000.
it is plotted, but it's like there was a sale that just happened right after it for 15.
No, that's December 2024. They haven't plotted this latest one.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, no, that's December 24 where it sold for 9,000 as well. So
That's crazy.
yeah,
So actually, I think the 9 to 10,000 looks more like like based on everything else.
I agree. I agree. I think this 15,000 is the outlier.
Yeah, I think somebody really overpaid.
Again, it's fixed price eBay.
That happens. People they get trigger happy and they overpay.
I
And
know, but
that's a big overpay. That's six
that's a big
thousand dollars.
overpay. $6,000 overpay.
Yeah. Well,
If you'd have
maybe they're still remembering the COVID prices where it was like twenty
waited
thousand
about a
dollars or
week, you
something.
could have got it for 6,000 less off Heritage.
Yeah. I mean, I've done it, but not to that extreme. That's a bit extreme. I mean, this is not a hard book to find either. Like, look at
No,
the
no,
census on it.
there's humongous numbers of these. 5,807.
Yeah, that's a huge census. Be patient sometimes on these,
Especially on a book
especially in
like
these kind of
this, because
books.
there's a lot of them about.
I mean, it is a high grade.
Yeah,
It's a
they do
solid
come up. They
book.
do come up. Yeah, but
Yeah,
even so, there's 141 at this grade, you know.
yeah. And you probably could. I mean, for 15,000, I bet he could have gotten like a 9.0 or something really high grade.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, can we just quickly look at what could he be gotten for the same price?
Well, let's go and look at an 8 first.
I think easily better than an 8.
Well, the fair market value on an 8 is 16 and a half.
Oh, okay, okay.
And
So maybe you're
the
right.
last
Okay,
one sold for 15.8. So you're right, he could have got an 8.
an 8, not a 9, but 8. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But I'd rather have an 8 than a 7.5.
Well, yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's overpaid. Right.
yeah, overpaid.
Oh, here we go. I haven't
Your
seen it.
favorite book?
Yeah. It's the Spider-Man in the
So this one I was debating about. Like I was debating, should I have Amazing Fantasy or this one? We haven't seen this one for a
no,
little while, so I figured
we haven't had this one for at least
a
10,
month or so.
10 minutes. So no, we haven't had it for over a month, so I'm letting you off. Uh,
Yeah.
it's a nice copy as well. It's a 6.0.
Hmm.
Mm, and
And it's the same grade. Yeah, it's the same grade as my copy.
oh, it's the same grade as Alan's copy. Is yours graded?
Yeah, mine's graded.
Oh, we're
Mine's
going to find
restored
out
though.
how many millions Alan is worth in a second.
Well, mine's restored.
Ah, okay. No, we're not. Right. So this is Amazing Spider-Man number one. Second appearance of Spider-Man. First appearance of J. Jonah Jameson and Chameleon. The first Fantastic Four crossover and the origin
Yep.
of Spider-Man retold. Because obviously this is his second appearance. You need to retell his origin because people might have forgotten. Um,
Well, I think at the time they were thinking, oh, Amazing Fantasy, that's sort of some weird obscure book. This is him in his first title, so we got to do it properly where we retell the origin.
yeah, fair enough. I'll accept that.
But
So
yeah,
in a 6.0, nice grade. Oh, $19,000.
yeah, that's why I thought this is a pretty exciting sale. I
That
think that's a solid sale. I think it's been worth more, but this is still a solid sale.
that is a very solid sale. That's a lot of money for a comic. Right. Uh, um,
It's actually above
no, they haven't
FMV,
plotted it, Alan. They haven't plotted it. That last,
and it's above FMV.
yeah, it is. That last point there is 17.4 and it's sold for 19.2. So this is a strong sale. This is up. This is up around here somewhere. Okay, so that is from the recent well, one sold for 20,000 in March last year. So it's the
Yeah.
best sale since March last year.
Okay. So it's in that 19 to $20,000 range.
Yeah.
But if you ignore those crazy COVID bumps, it's I would say, what's the pre-COVID price actually? Maybe a little bit below pre-COVID,
Um,
2019-ish.
May 2019 sold for 21,000.
Yeah, actually it's below pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually kind of disappointing. But I it looked like a strong sale. Like I
Well,
thought
it
it was
is
a
strong compared to the last sale.
yeah, but it's not that strong of a
I mean,
sale. It's not as
somebody here picked up a copy for $7,000.
oh wow. That would have been a nice grab.
Yeah. In in May last year, somebody picked one up for 6,949.
I mean, that's what we were seeing last year, where it was kind of going through the floor, where it was like you get like some really big steals
Yeah.
because it was overcorrecting. That was the overcorrection. This is maybe kind of coming back into line where it should be.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
So yeah. So what's the census on this one? I know it's crazy. It's another 6,000 census or something silly.
It's 5. Yeah. It's high numbers. There's lots of these.
Hmm.
You know, but it's supply and demand, Alan.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Maybe
there's
got
lots
a
of
thousand
Spider-Man
of these,
collectors.
but there are a lot of Spider-Man collectors who want to collect Spider-Man.
Hmm.
Um, whereas, first what's that Bullwinkle comic called? There
Rocky and Friends.
was only about 60 of them, but how many Rocky and Friends collectors are there?
At
Um,
least 60.
well, it's a thing. So it's all about supply and demand, and there's lots of Spidey fans.
I was one thing this is just an aside, and I just quickly want to ask this. Um, how big do you think the number of collectors are? Like how many collectors do you think there are?
Well, I think you have to. Well, okay. Do you mean
So I
people who
mean,
would
obviously
people
there's
who
more
would
than
describe
5,000.
themselves people who would describe themselves as a comic collector? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, and they have to be pretty big collectors. I
Oh
mean,
no,
where they're
there's
willing to
plenty of people.
spend.
Plenty of people I think who've probably got one or two short boxes who would say they're comic collectors.
Yeah, but then there's this level, right? Where they're willing to pay this kind of crazy
I don't
amount.
think there's many people willing to pay $19,000 for a
But
comic.
there must be at least, I would say at least more than maybe 100,000.
Really?
Yeah. Well, just based on the number of these books. I mean, there's like 5,000 on the census here. And not every one of those comic collectors that are, big collectors would have this book.
So did you say 100,000 people willing to pay?
Yeah, 100,000 people.
I think that's on the high side.
Really?
Yeah, I think it'd be less than that.
I don't know. I always wondered how many collectors are out there.
That's a good question. How are you going to find
Because
out?
like, it's one of those things where you see the market and like I'm seeing like, every week, you see a few hundred books sell and it could be like $1 million worth of sales that happen. So, you have to have a fairly large community in order to support that much,
Yeah,
sales.
well, that's true. That is true. That's an interesting question. Right.
Yeah.
If anybody out there knows the number of comic collectors that are prepared to pay £19,000 for a Spider-Man comic,
Tell us and send us their phone numbers. We have bridges to sell.
right. Okay, so that is it for this week. We'll be back next week with another review of the Silver Age comic market as curated by Alan. But until then, bye.